going, everybody? Once again, it is your boy Sirius Lee here with Phenom, and we got another special guest host today, Blankman. What's going on, Blankman?
What's up, people? How you doing now?
Yeah, Blankman's gonna come. He came into the studio today. We're gonna, like always, we're gonna speak about some topics, some hot topics. We're gonna talk about a little bit of nerd stuff. We're gonna talk movies. We're gonna talk whatever's in the air.
So, once again, this is guy time, basically.
Another guy time.
Which is not a bad thing. I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's like we love Miss Brown, but every once in a while we just want to kick back, talk with the fellas, just chill, have a vibe, man.
And we do love the ladies. Don't get it wrong. We do love the ladies.
Yes, we do. Put on record, we miss you, Brown. Come back soon.
That's just what Sirius says.
Oh man, so Phenom, everything good with you, man? Everything?
Yeah, I mean everything's good. Got some things I wanted to work out. Made a little bit of a modification to the to our little booth for our podcast. I'm liking it. I just feel like we got more room. We can have more people on here, and hopefully as we grow, we can have more people experience this podcast with us. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah. Blankman, is hot outside. You feeling this heat?
Yes, and I'm wearing sweatpants, so I'm doing straight Waldorf.
I've been wearing the same shorts for 2 days, so I ain't got shit to say.
I'm wearing jeans, and it was a big mistake coming out with jeans.
It's a bit warm out there. The devil's sitting on my back, so I
just like Charlamagne said, I've been listening to that Pusha T album, so I haven't changed my clothes in 2 days.
I don't understand that reference. I don't listen to the Pusha T album.
He was just saying they had him like in his old, in the old mindset he used to be in when he was selling drugs.
Damn, it took you back.
Yeah, he called it like adult contemporary trap music.
Shout out to Charlamagne because he definitely inspired me in the last week or so. I've listened to his book Black Privilege, and I'll tell you what.
I listened to that a while ago. That was a good book.
Yeah, there's some gems in there. I'm trying to put Sirius on. There's some gems in there. Really.
Charlamagne was a dog.
He was.
Oh, he says that on his podcast.
But
it's a particular story about something that happened after prom.
Yeah,
with
that. Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those like. Woo. I mean, I have stories like that too, being that I'm the senior of the group, but. But it's definitely one of those. He has gems in there that make you go, all right.
Yeah.
All right, I can do that.
Yeah, that book, I can't wait for the next one. I think right now the new one's going to be up for pre-order, so that's probably going to end up getting purchased by me.
Oh, y'all going to make me have to read, man.
I got it on Audible. I just listen. Right here. Yeah, when I'm done with my podcast, I'll turn that on and I just listen to that, or I might listen to the book and just catch up on my podcast later.
While I'm mowing my lawn, that's what I do.
Oh, y'all going to make me have to listen to something, man.
Expanding my ears, brother.
Look.
Y'all say it's good.
It's definitely a read. It's a read.
It's a read?
Yeah, it's a read. It's a good read.
Okay.
Or a good listen, however you want to go about it.
I'm not opposed to books. I'm just opposed to me reading.
That's very sad.
Hey, look.
Let you know I'm saying that right. Sad. That's
definitely got the education of the county you graduated from.
Which is, I had what, PG?
A PG, yeah.
No. Shout out to PG.
Man, fuck PG. I tell people all the time.
Born and raised, but shout out to PG.
I tell people all the time, don't hold me accountable. I have a Prince George's County education.
Well, I'm a genius, and I'm not going to give that props to PG, but I don't know about you guys, but it didn't hurt.
We can go on top. We have talked about that word genius many, many times, and we will go there eventually, but let's keep it pushing.
I ain't going to say I'm a genius. I'm just going to say I assume I'm the smartest person when I walk in the room. If you prove me wrong, I'm happy that you proved me wrong because I don't want to feel like I'm above everyone else all the time. But
I feel like that.
I feel like sometimes.
I'm definitely the smartest person.
Yeah, my uncle was just like used to say, if you walk in the room and you're the smartest person in the room, you need to be in a different room. I was like, nah, I'm gonna walk in the room thinking I'm the smartest person, hoping that someone proves me wrong. And when someone proves me wrong, that's when I'm pleasantly surprised.
I think that's confidence. I think there's nothing wrong being confident and going, you know what, I got this. And if somebody else comes at you with more knowledge, you know what, you soak it up. AKA Blankman. I'm a blank slate. I gotta just make sure I bring in all the knowledge I can. Anybody can bring me some knowledge. I learned something today just sitting here. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just expect for him to be like, calling out for J5. J5. Manelli, you're going down.
Now, when he gets slapped in that movie and sounds like a woman, that is. Shout out to the Wayans, man. Them dudes really put a lot of stuff out there, and people don't give them credit for like being one of like the funniest like comedic families in the game right now.
Like I love the Wayans. Like in particular, I love Damon Wayans. Damon has always been Damon's always been my favorite, and that's one reason why. Like right now with the whole Lethal Weapon thing going on, you know, where the guy that played Mel Gibson's character in the movie got fired, and everyone's just like, oh, it's because Damon Wayans was crying and complaining and telling he's the one acting like he's not a good, like he doesn't have a good work ethic, or like he's not a good co-star. I'm just like, dog, Damon Wayans is like 50 something, almost 60. He's been in multiple movies. He's starred in multiple TV shows, had multiple projects under his belt. And I personally have never heard of him being any type of disruptance on set. So
this would be like a first hearing.
Yeah, like no offense to the dude to play Riggs. I don't know where he's from. I don't know how long he's been acting, but I guarantee you he ain't as old as Damon Wayans. And
he's in this movie called The Perfect Host. If that's the same guy. He's in this movie called
straight to DVD.
What? Yeah, it was on DVD, but it's a great watch. It has the guy from Frasier's brother.
I saw that Jane with you. That's stupid. The dude that plays Niles, is that his name? I never watched Frasier, but I know Niles.
The Perfect Host it's a really good movie.
Low key, Frasier's probably one of the best shows.
I've never watched it.
Listen, let me tell you, if you want highbrow humor, it's there. It's
for Frasier.
So that would be
Frasier,
so for you.
humor.
You would consider that to be like in a top 5 or something.
No, I wouldn't consider Frasier top 5. Remember, talk about top 5. Now, I say, talking about top 5 movie performances. Now, as we were talking about earlier, I just watched Lincoln again. Not with Daniel Day-Lewis. Lincoln is probably one of my favorite presidents besides Barack Obama, my mentor, my hero. Lincoln's that performance was absolutely amazing. From the direction, from the lighting, to the authentic clothes they were wearing, to really seeing how Lincoln struggled with the decision of freeing slaves.
That was a struggle for him?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, because I believe somewhere in one of the books about Lincoln, he pretty much said the freeing the slaves thing, he said if it would have helped the Union, I would free the slaves. If it would have hurt the Union, I wouldn't have freed the slaves.
Very good. That's absolutely true. Because Lincoln wasn't that he was anti-slavery. He was anti-splitting the Union.
And that's the guy that's one of your favorite presidents.
But
a guy that was on the fence about splitting slaves.
But if you dig deeper into it,
okay. Did he have like a Thanos sort of plan in the back that made me sympathetic to his
some emotional attachment we were supposed to have?
I'm going to applaud that reference because that's absolutely beautiful. He was right, and in the sense that the Union democracy was still an experiment at this time. So freeing the slaves was more of I got to keep the Union together. No, I got to win the war. I'm gonna take the property of the South.
Well, the picture that they painting about that dude is totally wrong. I thought he was all for black people.
If you listen,
he was only for freeing us if it was good for white folk.
If you listen to the Douglas Lincoln debates when they're running,
which you probably
wrong.
But I never will.
Stephen Douglas, Abraham Lincoln had debates back in like 1860 or whatever, and in their debates, Lincoln did say that he did see slavery was a stain on the country based on religious beliefs, but the white man was superior to black man in every sense of the word.
That's what Lincoln thought.
That's what Lincoln thought.
Okay.
But he evolved over time to realize that slavery was a stain on all humankind. So therefore, when he was actually going through his whole deliberation about the 13th Amendment and things like that, it was, if you see pictures of Abraham Lincoln from the time he started presidency, the time he ended, he looked like old as hell.
All right, so quick question. At what point in that struggle of a decision to free the slaves, at what point did he free the slaves? Was he still in that point to where I can see why it's a stain on all of humankind, or was he at that point to where I can see it's bad, but...
At the point when the war had gone on for 4 years and 600,000 people had died, and seeing that slaves freed slaves actually fought for the Union and actually fought for their freedom, he realized these are human beings,
And that we need a friend.
and slavery is not something. If we're going to call ourselves the beacon of the world, and we are practicing democracy, and all men are created equal, and we're taking the Constitution literally, we have to apply to all people.
All right, so time out. Now, did his views change? Because he started off, what you're saying is he started off as seeing his white people as superior to us. Now, did his views change because personally he's like, no, we're all equal, or because of the Constitution that they already set up, I kind of gotta follow. It makes more sense to follow this guideline.
Interesting, and it was a little bit of both.
And that's the guy that's
Because of, and the reason why I say he's one of my favorite presidents, because of the time period, because you're talking about a shift in American history as far as like you're taking a marginalized group of people and now you're freeing them and making them part of society. So without the freeing of the slaves, there is no Martin Luther King, there is no the struggle that we've gone through. We're never going to get there because we're still slaves all the way through.
right.
So his pivotal time when the country was split in half, people don't realize that's a huge deal when your country is split in half.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. You can't go past Maryland, which Maryland was a border state who was about to secede from the Union. It was a big deal. And that what to say is that Daniel Day-Lewis in that movie portrayed the struggle, portrayed the anguish, portrayed how the white folks didn't. There was a pocket of abolitionists that was like, black people are as equal as us. The other half is just like, we want to beat them rebels. We want to take their property away, which were black people. So they want to have an economy. But that's all the South economy was slavery. So you take away that, we won, and that was their chip. Like, here's that chip. Give me your slaves. So again, we're not a perfect union because there was so much dark shit in our history.
You was not kidding when you said he was a history buff.
No, yeah, man, he gets into it. I learned something today, and I've lost a little more respect for Abraham Lincoln.
There you go, listeners. The more you know.
Well, it's absolute truth. I mean, and that's the thing too. With all that goes on, I tell everybody, look at history. The winner tells the story.
I mean, yeah, of course, but that part that they don't tell, like you said, that's why I said I learned something, is that, no, he definitely believed that white folks was better than black folks.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, and of course, to me, it doesn't make sense because, one, racism is wrong, but it's like, I can't look at another person who has, 10 fingers, 10 toes, just like me.
But see,
And be like, you're beneath me.
Yeah, you're beneath me, you know what I mean?
But again, when you've established the fact that people have been programmed that those people, because they look different than you, are not human, and you come with scientific proof, like there were doctors that would like actually measure black people's head next to an ape and say, look how close you look.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
And they were programmed. So you start getting programmed.
But like back
into that.
then, is it a program now, or that's just like every day? Like that's just what they were doing. That's what everybody's on. So
Yeah.
even now, we say it's programmed and it's systematic, to keep us in that mindset, to keep us.
I mean, the way I see it.
Then it was just like that's just what they were doing. That was
second nature, like breathing.
exactly. So it's like.
I see it as it changes my view a little bit on Lincoln, but not a lot, because at the end of the day, you got to remember there were how many presidents before him?
That, and for you don't really expect too much out of white people anyway.
I don't, man. It's just
Disclaimer: I have a white wife. Disclaimer. No, but
So he has to watch what he says.
no, I'm not gonna watch what I say because my wife is woke and she's down. So
that's what I'm talking about. Black power fish.
Yeah,
You got down. Man.
she's woke and she's down. She has 4 mixed beautiful babies, so she's woke and she's down. Again, we're a blank family. We're taking all comers.
yeah, that works out so great.
You gonna get in trouble when we get home. We taking all comers.
What does that mean?
As in, we don't discriminate. We love everyone. There's no. In my house is.
Oh no, yeah, we get that.
We are a liberal family. We really, and it's an evolution. That's what I say that we evolve. We're a liberal family. So
outside of that little history lesson, did we have anything else within the top 5?
well, I said the performances. I said Daniel Day-Lewis is one of my top 5 favorite performances. Serious?
Man, for Daniel Day, I haven't seen him. Honestly,
Well, let's say not damn dude. Give me somebody in your top 5.
Like somebody in my top 5.
Is it gonna be Tom Hardy?
Should it not be Tom Hardy?
That's how well I know him.
Is he not great though? Wait a minute. I wasn't gonna say Tom Hardy.
I feel like his list
he's on the table.
I feel like his list was either gonna be Tom Hardy or Leo.
It has to be Leo.
You gotta give me some depth with this. Okay.
Hold on. First of all, I don't need it. With Leo, when Leonardo DiCaprio is turned into now, I don't need to give you depth of anything. Everybody's seen his movies. Everybody knows how great he is. I don't need to go in.
The Beach wasn't that good.
That's little Leo.
Was some shit.
That's little Leo.
I'm just putting it out there.
What's that? That's
Jack wasn't smart enough to get up on the door with Rose.
I thought it was understood like worldwide that was definitely the woman's. That was her fault.
It was like, save me, Jack. Here's this board we both can fit on. No, just me. Just hold on.
You know, that was proven.
He tried jumping up. Can you scoot over just to...
Okay, that was proven. What's that show, Mythbusters?
Yeah.
They did prove that he could have fit on that board with her.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know, so she could have scooped him up if she really tried.
She needed to be like one of the last ones to tell the story, man.
Pretty much.
Like, I can't. But shit probably went down way different.
She's like, when we get to the new world, to the new country, to America, look, man, this whole love on the boat thing is nice, but I can't be having people look at me when I'm next to you. Got all these fancy dresses and you just all tattered up.
My question, not to do all
in reality, she killed him.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dark.
Rose killed Jack.
Movie.
Okay, I was going on a love story route. That's dark.
It was a dark movie.
Who hurt you?
A lot of people died.
I mean, she should have just sucked it up and stayed with Billy Zane. He had it.
He was a scumbag.
Billy Zane was a great.
Billy Zane is always a
He
scumbag,
plays
but I
a
love
great
him.
scumbag. He plays a really good scumbag. Now, let's do a reference. The Phantom. Do we all remember the Phantom? Billy Zane?
Yeah, that's.
I remember going to the movies.
Now,
and
was
they
that-
gave you the ring?
Was that?
I can't call it a damn movie because I was a kid.
Thank you. Was that underrated or just me?
No,
I feel like it was. I feel like it was underrated.
Yeah.
I think they should redo the Phantom.
At that point, Billy Zane, because of the Phantom, was like one of my favorite actors when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they tried to redo like the Phantom a little bit on Sci-Fi, like maybe 6-7 years ago. It was like a little mini series called like The Phantom Reborn or something like that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it was like it took place like in this generation. You know,
I think they should.
smartphone technology. He had access to all the different type of gadgets and whatnot.
Oh, that's tight. I think they should, like, with the surgence of superhero movies and things like that. Like that's pretty much what we're going to the movies to see now, the superhero movies, and they're coming out to be one of our favorite movies that we'll watch all year. I think they should just like.
That's because no matter what you say,
try it again.
there might be some fatigue when you see superhero movies done a certain way, but when they're done right, it's almost like a complete package. You get a love story, you get you get your emotions, you get your drama, your action. It's just.
I think Marvel did like an amazing job with their last 10 years.
Yeah.
They made you go, listen, these books people have been reading for years, we're going to bring them to you. We're going to make you watch them, make you fall in love with them, invested in these characters. So everybody walked away with Thanos and Killmonger going, I get it.
I mean,
I can't be mad at you. And because while I was watching Infinity Wars, I felt Thanos. I'm like, man. All right.
I mean, for pretty much like the last 3 Marvel movies, they tried to make you feel for the villain.
Absolutely.
And Ragnarok and Black Panther. Ragnarok is just like,
great point.
Look, you wanted me to do all this and kill all these people by your side, and then one day you have a change of heart, and because I don't follow you, you lock me away. I was like, yeah, you evil and you bad, hella, but at the same time, nah, like Odin, that was a monster of your own creation right there.
Time out. Okay, I'll give you Black Panther. I'll give you Infinity War. I'm not giving that to Hela only because she said that speech after killing half of Asgard, bro. She and single-handedly did.
But if you
Carl Urban watched.
But if you go back to the point when she was talking to Odin and on the ceiling where you see her with Odin, she was Odin's weapon. She was the weapon of Odin. Was he going to use him to wipe out? You don't like me. If you want to be part of my thing,
it's like you can't. It's like you literally programmed me to do a certain thing, and then you change your mind. It's like, well, what do I do? This has been my
This is my nature.
This has been my nature. This has been my mission. This has been my mindset for so long, and you just expect me to change just because you change.
Yes.
No, it doesn't work like that with people.
We are no longer in time of war.
It doesn't work like that with people.
I need you to stop killing people.
But if
now.
I am a warrior and that's my warrior nation, I have nothing else to do.
It's like General Zod. He could have came to Earth and just chilled and like lived amongst the humans and be cool and everything.
Really?
Nah, that dude was in a war mindset. And guess what?
Which is why he needed to be banished to the Phantom Zone in every iteration of Superman. That's where his ass.
Oh,
is.
side note. If no one has watched Krypton on Sci-Fi, I suggest you watch it. It's only 10 episodes and it's
I was
good.
going to ask that question to you because you said something about sci-fi. Is it any good?
I like it.
Because I am a huge Superman fan.
I have 2.
So I need to know.
I'm behind on 2 episodes, but it just finished the season finale. I'm the type of person who doesn't really care about spoilers because I still watch stuff anyway. So I know what happens, and I'm excited to see it because I just want to see how it plays out on the screen.
Like we know that Krypton blows up, kind of spoiler. Because if you
Spoiler.
I mean,
it's so in Krypton, they I'm not going to say who, but they introduce a specific character that is well known in the Superman mythos.
Brainiac.
And no, someone else.
Oh.
Like they introduced that. In fact, they introduced like two of them,
You don't have to tell.
and they bring that person into the show.
I still want to be a little excited.
Yeah, they bring that person in. They bring that person into the show, and the way the season ends, that person may or may not have basically just said, "I run this shit now."
So it's well written, basically.
It's kind of like a Game of Thronesy, but not as intricate and as deep. But you still get that feeling because it's just pretty much you have people you have all these different factions trying to fight for, or not all these different factions, like maybe 2 or 3 different factions trying to fight for this one city, Kandor.
Yep.
And it's all about how even without the Brainiac thing, you still have, Superman's grandfather has to worry about this house right here while he's in love with someone from this house right there, while you have this great godlike person that everyone worships and everyone's just gunning for him. So I like it.
All right, so in the show, because they don't have the yellow sun there, right?
Oh yeah, everyone's just regular.
Everybody.
Yeah, everyone's regular. There's no power.
Yes, that's the great part of it because now you're taking it back to what everybody was just.
And it kind of reminds you, like the way the city's set up.
You gonna do that all show?
Pretty much.
The way the city's set up, it kind of reminds you a little bit of Wakanda from Black Panther, where it's just like where like the people who aren't rich live at. It looks like real basic and whatnot, but then like you see everybody up in these high ass skyscrapers. It's not like the suburbs today, and then you go down and you see these people in the mansions, and then you go to your other side and you see like the people in the slums a little bit. Nah, it's just like there's no middle ground. It's like either you broke or you up here. One of the two. You broke, you up here. I'm sorry, the third middle ground is you in the military.
That's like Altered Carbon. How they was living.
Exactly. Only they were more fancier than Altered Carbon.
Probably one of the better Netflix series I've seen on Netflix besides Blackman.
That show single-handedly changed how I felt about Joel Kinnaman.
That's the main guy, right?
Yeah, because I thought that dude could not act. I was like,
he was garbage.
I was like, you're garbage in Suicide Squad.
Yes.
I did not like, despite what other people try to tell me, I did not like that RoboCop remake.
That was
I didn't have a problem with it.
I did not like it.
Horrible,
like what
man.
they put on the screen, I was just like, I mean, it's not the RoboCop I'm used to, but
Yeah.
Here's the
not
thing.
bad.
Here's the thing. Since we're on the same topic of performances and top 5 performances in the movie, certain movies you just don't remake because they're cult classics. Like you cannot remake RoboCop because it's a cult classic. Because
they remade it as a PG-13.
Yeah, I'm about to say, and then you took like a hard R movie and turned it into PG-13.
The scene where they blew his ass up when they all shot him. In the first version, where they were sitting,
dope.
It's one of the most gory, messed up scenes you'll get.
I remember adults telling me I need to close my eyes. I'm like, why?
Because they
don't take this away from me.
The shit out that dude.
But the thing
shotguns, guns, pistols. I mean, they were
whole fire.
If you look back now, that was rough.
His arm got blown off, and it was bad.
All because of the father from that '70s show.
Which was funny as hell that he was that bad guy.
Like when I look at it now, it's like. It's like
Red's gangster.
Is that Kurtwood Smith?
Red's out here just popping off the shotty.
I was like, Eric better like be careful, dumbass.
You know what I'm saying?
So, Phenom, who's one of your top 5s, man?
One of my top 5s easily is always gonna be Christian Bale. I don't like, and this was before Batman. This was before Batman.
What?
I loved him in American Psycho. American Psycho is like one of my favorite movies.
Not to cut you off, but see, when he was going there, I wanted to see where he was going to go with it, and he went right to the right spot. American Psycho was a masterpiece.
Like,
it was a
him,
masterpiece.
Jared Leto, even Reese Witherspoon with her little self in there as the girl.
Oh man,
He's just like, I'm freaking out here. Like, I don't know what to do. He's like, you know what? I'm fine. I've realized something. I'm going to kill these people. It's just like he was so calm and suave, and then but underneath that exterior was just like this raging lunatic who all he wanted to do was bust out of that shell he was in and just go on a murder spree. Like Christian Bale in American Psycho should have been in The Purge. They should have made a character like was it Jason Bateman? Patrick. Like Patrick in the Purge movies, just going around like he ain't had to be a man character, just like some random person just acting just like him in the suit and everything. I would have loved that.
I think the American Psycho was such a good performance because it was their 80s. A well-dressed, rich white guy who was a psychopath. Who was a narcissist, because to be a Wall Street banker at that time, you had to be a narcissist. It was all about you. It was all about you.
But he was literally having it was a conversation with you. And they'll be like, man, you okay? You're not feeling so well. Maybe because I'm not feeling so well because I just really want to just kill everything. Like, it's like, and then they would totally sidestep what he just said.
Because that
I feel like American Psycho also kind of, like, everything that's going on nowadays, like the Me Too, and the people talk about the way we used to do stuff back in the 80s. American Psycho just like, I believe it because I've seen American Psycho, so I don't have a hard time believing it. Someone did this to that person. Someone did that action to that person.
I got one for y'all.
And then he did The Prestige, 310 to Yuma. It was one.
I'm not saying those are good performances. I'm not saying he's a bad actor.
Equilibrium.
It's not hard to play Equilibrium. I won't give you that one.
I like Equilibrium. I don't care what no one says.
Anybody could have played.
I never saw that one, so I can't.
I can't
chime in.
Better action movies.
I can't chime in.
It's another movie that he did, and I'm mad. I own it, but I just can't remember the name. He was a pilot. He was a pilot, and he got shot down over. I want to say it was over Japan or Rescue Dawn. That's the name of the movie. Like he was it was set in 1966. He was a German-born U.S. Navy pilot, and he was shot down over Laos. And he was taken as a prisoner of war.
Yeah, I've seen
and in this movie, it just shows his dedication because he lost so much weight. He was in the movie, like in the torture scenes, you could tell it was actually him allowing himself to be in those scenes where you could see that it was something painful a person would go through. And he was real with it. He ate bugs. He was eating maggots and shit.
No,
he's a great. He wants to make sure you know.
He's a good method actor.
And this is based on. And this is based on a true story. So
you see The Machinist?
Yeah, that's what
I've seen The Machinist too.
Yeah.
He was like a walking skeleton.
Yeah, that was, and then he went from Machinist, then he went to Batman the next year. Batman Begins. So you gotta think the toll it took on his body.
Yeah.
From that, so I'm with you on that.
I liked him in the fight. I liked him in The Fighter.
You turned me. I give you.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes when you look back at Christian Bale's resume, you know, once you get past like Newsies and shit, like whatever is that what it was, Newsies, and you just like look at some of like the mid 2000 movies, it's like, dog, you did such like I'm not a big Western fan. I love 310 to Yuma.
I think Russell Crowe made that movie for me more than.
Russell Crowe was definitely the more charismatic of the person, but Christian Bale was the one that I could relate with the most because I was like, yeah, there have been times when people kind of looked down on me and told me that I can't do something because of XYZ. Because you know, in that movie, he didn't have his leg. He lost one of his legs in the war, and so you know he's barely getting by. He's telling he has people telling him when he wants to escort this dangerous prisoner for money. He has people telling him, oh, you can't do this. Like you're not going to be able to do this. You can't hold these people off. And sure enough, him and Russell Crowe was fucking shit up.
I mean, low key, Russell Crowe has delivered some outstanding performances.
Yeah, Russell Crowe.
Like Gladiator was definitely like
Russell Crowe's definitely like top 10.
So, confession, he already knows this. I've never seen Gladiator. It's one of those movies where
I sighed.
I've told you that before, Sirius.
I probably did know that, and every time I hear it, I'm just like,
It just got to the point where I was like, I'll probably catch it one day.
Heartfelt sigh on that one because that's a really good movie. It's
you
but
really should.
I do love him in Master and Commander. I like that. It's definitely a slow movie, but it's a good story. Like, the British commander sailing the seas.
I'm gonna give you somebody else. I'm gonna give you somebody who's a little underrated.
A good performance now.
Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce.
You seen Memento?
No, but Guy Pearce in
Memento was the one where he didn't have his memory and he had to I remember Memento.
No, that one.
He was trying to figure out if somebody killed his wife or something.
The way the movie is shot, the way the movie is filmed, and his acting in it. All right, so the story is this guy's looking for the person that killed his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the characters in the movie, they individuals from the Matrix was in this movie. Cypher, what's his name? The guy that played Cypher in the first Matrix. John Pantalino.
Oh, John Pantalino, the dude who played the captain in Bad Boys.
Yeah, Captain. Yeah. He was in it. Trinity was in it.
You call me a Tic Cat?
Carrie Ann Moss. I used to know his name so well. It's like Joe Pantoliano or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But he was in it. Trinity was in it. And what it is, so Guy Pearce is looking for the person that killed his wife. However, the reason he's doing it, in the struggle that ensued with the killer getting to his wife, he got into an accident to where he lost his short-term memory.
Mm-hmm.
And so what he did was he's collecting all these clues, but before he forgets them, he's tattooing them on his body of what he remembers this killer looking like. So he's searching, based off of the clues on his body that he got tattooed, he's looking for this person that matches this description. Now, in this movie, every bit of loss that he feels, you feel. Because it'll be like a chase scene where he's running from a guy. And mid-chase, he's like, it's sunny out. Okay, I'm in a parking lot. What was I doing? And the guy shoots at him. Bow. Oh, that's right. I'm running from him. Like, he'll forget, like, just mid-action.
Okay, now I gotta see that. That sounds contact.
No, that
was that was like Nolan's first like major picture, I think.
Yeah.
So if you like Christopher Nolan, then you'll probably like this movie. This is
Well, like, and you know what? Let me throw in a woman in this. Natalie Portman is probably one of my favorite actresses, and V for Vendetta, which is one of my top 5 movies.
The vigorous Vakoshi.
That movie. I've watched that movie every time it's on. I've watched it back and forth. I watched it back to back. Her performance in that movie, the evolution of where she went through from where she started to the ending of that movie. She was a badass.
I mean, I own it on Blu-ray and DVD, so.
Who does that movie? Hugo Weaving was perfect in that movie, which was V, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't know.
If you didn't know.
Smith.
Yeah, he was perfect in that movie. But her character, the way she done good movies. Like, she was in my man, the Professional.
Yeah, I was about to say, people, like, you always got to go back to The Professional.
The Professional, as her being only like 13 years old, and in that kind of subjective role she was in.
That was very subjective.
That was like, yo, should I be even watching this right now?
Should I be okay with this love dynamic they built between?
Because they're falling in love.
Yeah, that was.
Because am I wrong? Were they not falling in love in the movie?
No, they definitely were. It was one of those things. This isn't very appropriate.
Exactly.
But it's a good movie.
Should I be watching this? This is so weird. I don't think.
What's my man that plays Commissioner Gordon on in the Dark Knight series? What's his name?
Oh, Gary Oldman.
That's one of my favorite roles Gary Oldman's been in. When he was that
was Gary Oldman?
That was the cop?
Yeah.
That's Gary Oldman.
Yeah, that's Gary Oldman.
Oh, snap. Mind blown.
What do you want us to do, sir? Call in everyone. Everyone, sir? Everyone! Like that, and that was one of my favorite performances by Gary Oldman.
What? You didn't love him in The Fifth Element?
You got a snack for me?
He didn't even do shit in The Fifth Element, really.
Yeah, like he didn't.
Again, Gary Oldman's a great actor.
All he did was choke on a cherry.
Yeah.
But back to Natalie Portman, I when I look back at it now, okay, yeah, I'll give her that. She's a great actress. I liked her in
sans the Star Wars prequels.
I did not like her.
Best thing she did
How
in that prequel.
dare you say that?
Best thing she did in the prequels was
dare
die.
you
Oh
say
my
that?
God. She was in this movie with Jude Law as a sniper in World War II. What were we fighting the Nazis? Two
Two was Nazis.
Wow. Wow. That's wow.
If
What
I
is
don't
that?
know much
Hold on.
about history,
Stop.
I
What
definitely
does
know
that have
two
to
was the
do
Nazis.
with the price of tea in China.
Wow.
Me knowing that
First
specific
of all,
thing.
basic world history.
No one's going to come roll up to me on the street and ask me about World War II.
First of all, basic world history you should know.
You mean the same history that's written by the winners? That's what you want me to learn?
I want you to learn that.
I'll
man.
pass.
Okay, that's how you.
I will pass. No, but she I think it's called Enemy at the Gates. Jude Law played a sniper, the hero sniper for Russia. And that her role in that movie
Shout out
was
to
really
Jude
good.
Law. That dude's.
I like Jude Law too. But was she in Constantine? That's not her in Constantine.
No.
That's Rachel
Weisz.
Weisz.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'll give you another one. See, if
Give me another one she was in.
you gotta like love stories because Closer or her.
Oh, I thought you was about to say no strings attached. Like, get out of here, sir.
No, you can't do no booty call movie. She was in Closer, which is
Oh,
really,
the
really
joint
good.
with Julia Roberts
Yeah.
and
was in Heat?
remember when Clive
No, she
Owen was
wasn't
someone?
She was a little girl in the bathtub. She was Al Pacino's stepdaughter who tried to kill herself.
Oh, that was her?
That was Natalie Portman.
I'm about to go back and watch Heat.
Yep.
Which is always good.
Which is, you can't really complain about Heat.
Nah, you can't.
And she was in Garden State, which is one of my low key like underrated movies.
Garden State with Jane was Zach Braff.
Yep.
I do
really
know
good
that.
movie. Really, really good movie.
Because I think that came out around the time Scrubs was on. So,
Yeah.
I always gave Zach Braff a chance
So
because
looking
I
at
love
this list, I
Scrubs.
haven't seen barely enough of her movies to be. No, Annihilation was good. Oh
Yeah,
man, Annihilation was really good.
Yeah.
Actually, I just bought that on digital. It just came
Was
out.
that
this
good? I
week.
didn't get to see that. Was that really good?
That was really good.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
personally, me, I could have used a little bit more action, but like when you look at like the visuals and the scenery and like her co-stars, I liked it.
Yeah, that was.
Now Annihilation. I gotta go see that.
Yeah.
I gotta see that. That's definitely something I gotta see. But we're talking about male actors here, and it's like there's some really good female performances out there, but she stands out to me. And then like
That Star Wars brings it down for me.
I don't know how. Because, again, okay. I'm gonna go back to a couple podcasts ago when y'all talked about Star Wars. Okay, because you need all of them Star Wars. You need all of them.
Do we need her?
I don't need midichlorians. I was cool without that.
Listen to me.
I was cool with them keeping it a mystery.
Listen,
like hey, there's just some things we don't know about.
No,
that.
you
So I'm fine with
need.
that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
You need all of those because it gives you your whole reason for watching Star Wars. Why is Darth Vader the way he is? And it was based on love. And it goes back to the topic we were talking about how love makes you crazy. Love is the antithesis to the dark side. Because
First of all,
Fear put you on the dark. Fear moved him to the dark side.
Well,
Using
love.
too many big words.
Okay.
Watch your mouth.
Like the fear was definitely the fear was motivated by.
Antithesis of dark. The anger the fear of losing her, all that, and her role wasn't supposed to be dynamic in that. She was all she was just like this is why.
Yes,
that,
but
that love.
this is
aspect.
why it could actually be more believable because I did not believe them. I didn't believe them as a
believe the
couple. I
relationship
didn't
they
feel
was
the.
having.
I didn't feel the chemistry.
Right.
Now they did have terrible. Hayden Christensen was not a great older Darth Vader, older Anakin Skywalker.
Well, Hayden Christensen isn't a good actor.
They could have cast
I don't think
a lot
he's.
better.
I don't think he's a bad actor. I just think he's only good in a
There's so many other
particular
people.
role.
Yeah.
And once he started getting a certain age, that role just like he was too
Jumper-
old for the role.
Yeah, Jumper was terrible.
Like what was it?
But
It was
the concept of
it was
Jumper
it was
was
a
really
movie
cool.
called called Life is a House that he was in, where
Okay.
he was this very emotional, not goth, but what's it called, emo like teenager, and it worked. He was very good in that movie. But then once
Was
he
he
got
cryy?
Yes, that's what he was. And apparently,
not for somebody
and then apparently
who
somewhere he was
transforms into Darth Vader.
exactly. That's the issue. You got this person hoping that they could bring. You got this person hoping that they could bring another side to a role. When the truth be told, he only really knew how to act one certain way. I've only ever really seen Hayden Christensen act either the way he did in Life is a House or the way he tried to act in the movie with what was his name, with Idris Elba and Chris Brown and all them.
Oh,
when they were
Takers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the only two type of acting styles I've ever seen him have. He's either tries to play suave and cool, or he's just very emotional.
He fell off like a bad wig. I ain't gonna lie to you. He really did.
That love dynamic brought down.
But I'm sorry, but I will defend Star Wars in the sense of, like, I knew what he was trying to do. I knew what Lucas was trying to give it. He was trying to give it. For all you people that were a Star Wars fan and held on to me for years and all this time, this is the reason why Darth Vader, and I got
But
that.
that wasn't a good payoff.
But you know what was a real bad payoff? The last movie that came out, the last Star Wars that came out.
I didn't have a problem with The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi I was very upset.
I was
very upset. I wanted more Jedi. I wanted more. You give me The Last Jedi,
Okay.
title. I want some more fight.
I feel like the and if you haven't seen this yet, this is going to be a spoiler, but not a big spoiler because it's just talking about something in particular. The one Finn's mission. Yeah, him and his little girlfriend, what's her name, Rose? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could have scrapped that
It
whole
was
shit.
pointless.
Yeah,
that was pointless.
The only thing that really did was, oh wow, they freed the animals where the little kids who might have force powers were taking care of them at. I feel like the only reason that entire section of the movie exists is just so at the end when they're just like, we'll find more Jedis and we'll train them, and the little kid like uses the force to move the broom. I feel like that was the only reason for that entire
Finn's
scene.
character was underdeveloped.
He was.
It was underdeveloped character.
Yeah.
You could have gained more with that.
He was clearly like the fan favorite, and
I was hoping he was an actual Jedi.
Yeah.
I was hoping that he would tap into some powers. Because I was like, okay.
I feel like probably why I wasn't so harsh on The Last Jedi is because I admire the fact that someone tried something different as opposed to, I like The Force Awakens, but for the most part, The Force Awakens is just, oh, you've never seen a Star Wars movie before? Here's the first original 3 crammed into one movie.
But didn't you get
a lot of fan service.
Yeah, it was a lot of fan service, and it pulled at a lot of emotional. It pulled at a lot of strings that were already there instead of trying to create new moments for you.
But as a Star Wars fan, wasn't The Last Jedi a homage to Return of the Jedi?
It was, but not as much as The Force Awakens was to
the throne room scene was a definite homage to. Like, Return of the Jedi.
but that was a dope ass fight though. I don't care what nobody says.
But again, I have a problem with, if we're gonna talk about Star Wars.
I just like them trying to like, you know what? We see the Force. We see that the Jedis can push people with the Force. We see you can do the little mind thing. We see the little lightning thing. Let's try some other stuff. You know, we're going to say, yo, if you're strong enough in the Force, you can connect 2 minds that are nowhere near each other and have them talk to one another.
That was the tight part.
That was dope.
That was dope.
Not knowing where on Earth Rey was, or not on Earth, where in the galaxy Rey was, this man, Snoke, was strong enough to connect Kylo Ren and her mind together.
Well, they've I don't know if you've played any of the video games, but they've explored that aspect of their powers in the video games. I know in particular, Knights of the Old Republic 2.
I only played the first Knights of the Old Republic.
They had a real interesting storyline to where it was you could see that Jedis could communicate through their mind from long distances.
But they didn't touch on that in like the other Star Wars movies?
Yeah, I feel like that was... I don't find that part surprising. I found it surprising that he was able to connect 2 minds, and at the same time, it's not like he knows Rey. He never met Rey. He never, he doesn't have any type of personal relationship with Rey. So that means not only did he just probe into Kylo's mind, he probed into Kylo's mind, found the information about Rey, and then was able to find Rey through the information that he found through someone else's mind.
Check out all that power and look at it.
Hey,
just
because Kylo was able to mask his thoughts doesn't mean that you can't appreciate the fact that he was strong enough to set him up in the first place.
No, side note, this is the deepest conversation I've ever had about Star Wars powers ever. I'm really appreciating that. Because that was dead on true. Because if you take that too, you take it back to when Luke and Leia, I think it was the second one, when Luke was on Endor and Leia was in a spaceship, and when it blew up, she could feel them, and they knew they were okay. That was like, okay, I see what you're saying. I got you on that one.
Yeah.
So I understand, but there's no. Only reason why I think that what's the black kid's name again on Star Wars?
What, Finn?
Finn. I think Finn's character undeveloped because something we said last week. Like black people didn't make it to space.
About 4 of us did.
I mean, Lando Calrissian.
According to SNL, only 4 of us made it.
Yeah,
I mean, Lando Calrissian. That was about it. I mean,
Like,
Lando.
we like to pay homage to all the dead black people who led the way for Star Wars.
Right.
Mace Windu. That is all.
That is all.
that is all. That was like
You gotta watch that SNL skit. It's so true.
like where because we have Jar Jar Binks, we have Boba Fett, we have all these players, we have all the clones. Where are the brothers and sisters?
We had
don't
the
know.
stowaway on the ships that the
Wait a minute.
the white people.
Was
took
there
to.
any black women in Star Wars?
I don't know. Only thing I know
Think
right
about
now
this
is
now.
I
Was
had
it-
the idea for the title of this episode. I'm calling it Attack of the Nerds.
Was there any black women in Star Wars? I don't think so.
Probably.
There was that one minority.
Nope.
I mean,
She was an octopus.
the guys had to have mamas, but I haven't seen anybody,
Hey, look, what makes you think if they're not accepting of us here on Earth, they're gonna be accepting of us in space?
I mean,
But-
you would hope at least there was like a whole planet. Well, never mind, because when there was a whole continent of just us, we see what they did to us. So
Colonizer.
but look, even with that, what makes, because they want to do this whole space race and everything, and they want to go out, and Virgin wants to go and get the shuttle out there and all this other stuff, and
Tesla sending fucking Model S's into space.
Yeah,
That's gangster as hell, by the way.
What makes them think that aliens are going to be so accepting of them? Oh no, we've seen what you've done with your Earth. We'll pass. You
Like
walk
we
and-
picked up waves off of your transmissions.
You walk and go back home now. Thanks. We don't need that thinking in space. Not up here.
What movie was Channing Tatum in, and where he was basically a cop?
You mean Die Hard Light?
No. It was in
21.
space. He was in space. I'm gonna look this up because
Oh, you mean that dumbass, crappy ass Jupiter Ascending?
listen, I'm gonna say something.
When he was like a dog.
Let me say something about Jupiter Ascending. That had potential to be a great movie.
Yeah,
That
visually great.
Visually, and
like
the concept
if I was to
was-
play that on my
yes.
4K TV, you'd be like, oh wow, because it's the Wachowskis.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh wow.
The Wachowskis fell off on the writing because I don't think Channing Tatum was the right character for that movie. And I think the concept was amazing how Earth was a battery, where all human beings were batteries for a larger race of people in the galaxy, in the universe. That was like, that makes sense.
I feel like that's a pretty big spoiler. I feel like I no longer need to watch this movie.
I mean, the
'cause
movie
haven't.
came out like 5 years ago.
I
so
haven't, and I don't need to
the
watch
movie
it.
came out when Mila Kunis was still like a lead lady.
Yeah.
It's all Matrixy. That we were bad.
It was very.
Again,
It
we're
was.
bad
It
again.
was.
If I'm watching
Yeah.
a Wachowski film, I'm only watching The Matrix and Speed Racer.
Do you like Speed Racer?
I never
like
saw
Speed
Speed Racer.
People don't like
I
Speed
like Speed
I've
Racer.
never seen Speed Racer.
Speed Racer is like, especially
I
like
didn't
when they're
think mine
driving, it's like you're on an acid trip.
It is great.
It's like the colors and the spirals and the visuals. I'm just like,
What is
I love
acid?
it.
I have no idea what acid is. That's crazy.
I mean, I've never been on an acid trip, but I can assume that's what it's like. It looks like what
That's the
acid trips
closest
has been.
we know that's an acid trip.
It looks like
That's an
what
example.
movies have described the acid trip to look like. Let me put it like that.
What could that possibly be?
Oh,
But I am kind of like, has anybody heard anything about Solo yet?
I heard it was great.
Really?
I haven't heard it was great. I heard it was good. I heard it was better than what people were expecting, and I heard that the dude that played Solo, for all the flack that he was getting before the movie came out, that he did a good job.
I heard Childish was great.
Yeah, I heard Childish was great, but I heard as far as just like exceeding what expectations were, it was that dude that played Solo, because people went into that drink. People were shitting on that dude so bad. Yeah, especially like when the trailers came out, it's like, oh, he has such a soft voice. He doesn't sound like Han Solo.
And see,
He doesn't sound like someone who would
Everybody's
command
like-
someone.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying the same thing. You can't. Harrison Ford is, it's Indiana Jones, man. You really can't really go out. It's like that's Indiana Jones. That's Han Solo. He's created characters that you look at him, and black people, we don't know names of actors. Yo, that's Indiana Jones. That's the dude with the hat. And he's created iconic roles where you're like, all right, cool, I got this. All right, I know who that is. That's Han Solo. That's Indiana Jones. And he's been in a ton of other movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Clear and present danger.
which I think all those movies.
Firewall.
I think.
Where's my family? Where's my family? Get off my plane. Where's my family?
I want a gangster as president. I want a
movie.
gangster as president, like the character from Air Force One. I mean, that was a stupid tagline, but seriously, he was gangster as hell in that movie. He was like people taking bullets for him. He's like, I'm not leaving my troops. You know, Donald Trump, but like, you know what? I'm out.
We need to get me out of here.
Yeah. we need to go. I'm out. I'm out. No, but I was curious about Solo because I know Donald Glover being in it and all the hype with him going right now.
I'll probably definitely check it out.
I'm gonna check it out because Donald Glover. Because I mean,
for me, it wasn't like the way I was like, oh, Deadpool comes out this weekend, I'm gonna go see it. Yeah. Like I'm like, oh, Solo, oh, it's not as bad as people say.
Honestly,
I'll catch it
after Black Panther and Infinity War, I'm not like, oh, what movie come out?
I was saying that on early episodes. I was just like, after Infinity War, I just kind of like, oh, it's.
An early episode.
I watch other stuff, but it's like I'm not.
For me, it was like,
and I agree with you.
For me, Infinity War took a lot more out of me emotionally than I thought it would, and so that's why I like Deadpool because like I need some comedy to lighten me up right now, and that's all Deadpool was.
Infinity War for me was like, no one told me the end because everybody went and saw it. Like, I'm not gonna tell you nothing, and at the end I was like, what? That happened?
He'll tell you. Literally, when the movie was done, I sent out a GIF of Donald Glover from Community. My emotions. That's all I could say.
I texted him. He was like, I was texting Sirius, and I was like, yo, man, seriously? You killed off like half the Earth, and he actually won. And I love him. Sorry about that. But I love when bad guys. Everybody's seen it by now. Fuck that.
Charlamagne said,
don't let all the records fool you. Like the records just come from all the nerds who pre-ordered like 8 tickets.
Already, man. Everybody's seen it. If you ain't seen it by now, you know what? Forget you. You're something wrong with your life.
So everybody died.
You ain't seen it. Mix me with that bullshit.
Yeah, you crazy. But like I said, going back to with Solo and like that being that childish right now is like on the hot take.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about just the American video last week.
Yeah.
And I understand why Brown didn't watch it. But it was I love the fact. Well, I understand why she didn't watch it, but I love the fact how when he was interviewed and asked what it means, like, I'm not telling you what it means. Your interpretation. I love that fact because we don't get videos like that no more. We don't get videos where you have to, it's a piece of art where it's like there's so much stuff.
Nowadays with a lot of stuff, we want stuff to tell us what
exactly.
it is.
You don't get that. You know what? Let me just
it's
interpret
called critical thinking, people.
Absolutely.
Use it.
Absolutely. If you don't have that, guess what? You might have to jump over a bridge now. I mean, because I think that it was just amazing. I'm like, you're giving me so much. And I've watched that video at least 10 times.
Yeah, you've had to, like, just to kind of pick up on a high majority of the stuff. And then there's still some things that you're going to miss that other people are going to point out to you. And just going to be like, mind blown.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely one of those videos where I'm like, man, this dude took the pulse of America and actually said, you know what? Here you go, guys. Digest this. Let's go from there.
But it was more so like, here you go. Now tell me what you think about it. What's your interpretation of this? Because I remember there was an interview where they were interviewing him for Solo, him and the I believe the female lead.
Amelia Clark.
Yeah, and they were interviewing them for the movie Solo, and then the guy asked Donald Glover. He was like, so you just came out with the video "This Is America," and you want to tell us what that means? Like, what's that video about? And Donald Glover was like, no. No, I don't.
Figure it out yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you.
In an age we're in where we're in the email generation, everything has to be fast, quick, in a hurry. Everything's fast food. I think that to me was perfect.
Yeah.
That's why the video stands. You need that. You need critical thinking. You need that point where you're like, you know what? Let me just check this out. Let me see what he's saying. You know what? That's right. Is that Trayvon Martin's father? No, it wasn't. And why is he standing like that? And side note, why he's standing like that? That's a caricature of a 1920s Jim Crow poster of black people. That's how if you look it up, that's the stance they gave the Jim Crow poster. That's the kind of look. That's what he was paying homage to. So, cause a lot of people I was reading saying, like, "Oh, why is he standing so gay?" It wasn't standing gay. It was paying homage to something that you have to research and look.
That's definitely something that I did see a lot of people who actually knew something. They were posting that, showing the picture, comparing his stance to that poster.
Yeah,
because and again,
it goes all the way down to even the pants that he was wearing.
Yeah,
everything
I saw
in
that
the video had meaning,
and that's what I liked about that because in this day and age we don't get a lot of critical thinking. We got everything thrown at us. We're such an information age where we can't digest nothing because
everything's coming at us.
You sound like Charlamagne. but I agree when he says that though. It's like it's so much stuff coming at me.
You can't digest it. You can't. And the reason why I like that video so much, but probably one of the best videos I've seen in the last 5 years, because it's making me digest the whole video. It's making me go back and look. It's making me go back. What's the white horse mean? Let me look at what does the pale white horse mean? Whoa, the kid's doing. Oh, what dance is he doing right now? And side note, he can dance his ass off.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't think he could dance.
Yeah. And I mean, there's so much going on. You're like,
boy got some moves.
Yeah, and it's so much going on in that video. I'm like, again, a video like that. I'm sorry, a artistic expression like that has to be talked about more, has to be seen more, especially for black people, because there was so much like, hey, pay attention to what's going on around you. Yeah. Don't get distracted by the fancy little dance moves we got going on.
By the dancing, by the celebrities that are just in random spots.
Yeah, because I mean, in 2018, we're under attack in a way that hasn't been prevalent in so long. Since Barack Obama has been president, we're under attack on a regular basis, on a regular conversation. You see all these memes and all these GIFs and all these videos of people, racist people. All it's doing now is just making people go, I can say what I want now. Donald Trump's been at a point where, I can say whatever I want and no one's going to stop me. Mm-hmm. I could be on TV and I can say whatever. I could be racist as hell at a bus stop and no one's going to stop me.
Because this is the thing. This is the thing. If I think that if he was to come out and tell you exactly what that
that would suck.
Yeah, not only would it suck, but I think they would try to blackball him for that. Like if he was to say it, like he showed it, and he said, "This is your interpretation." But if I tell you, this is what I'm doing, I personally think that they would try to, like even now they with him having a white baby mama, white girlfriend, whatever, what have you. Yep. Like he puts that out. He's the talk of the town, the talk of the world. Everybody's talking about this video. Everybody's talking about what he's doing, his accomplishments and things like that. And then boom, but he has a white girlfriend.
Which is, to me, the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Just because you fall in love with somebody who is different race doesn't mean you're not pro whoever you are.
Yeah, it's like you know your struggle. You know struggle of the people that look like you, but at the same time, your heart can be open. Your heart can be open to everyone.
And shout out to like a down white woman who's with somebody who's pro-black, because she has to deal with that on a regular basis. Like,
she's always going to be looked at. She's always going to have people be like, why is he with her?
Yeah, you got to think. I mean, not saying the Nubian sisters out there aren't doing their thing, but speaking of somebody who has a white wife, my wife has been encountered in situations where black women have automatically assumed she's racist until she sees our kids. I will never know that struggle. She will never know what it's like to be a black man. I will never know it's be able to be a white woman with a black husband who people automatically assume she's racist when she meets her.
I mean, personally, that's why, I don't know, I'm not going to say like I wouldn't do it, but I'm kind of indifferent about it. Because I can't really see myself with a person who can't fully understand my struggle as a black man. I can tell, I'd be able to tell them all day, but they won't be able to.
But
fully understand.
I feel like unless you're with another black man, they're not like. That's the only way. So a female can a black female can definitely understand what you go through, but they're still never in the same shoes as you. The same way that a black female still can tell a black male, you'll never know what it's like to be a black woman.
It's a whole lot closer than a white
woman. It's a whole lot closer. It's a whole lot closer, but it still ain't 100%.
I'd like to walk in the house and be like, my wife would be like, the man still got you down, baby. That's you goddamn right.
I mean, his wife might not understand it from his point of view, but his wife now is going to have to understand what it's going to be. She's going to have to learn. She's going to have to do more and learn more because, like Blankman said, he has 4 kids, like that are mixed. You know how it is with mixed kids. There's no you're mixed. It's you're black.
And you know what? And you're going down the road I'm going on is saying that she has evolved in the situation of having, I think, Trayvon Martin especially touched her because we have
Tamir. I mean,
we have a son who's 12 years old, and she put on Facebook of him in a hoodie when he was like 8. He said, "Does this look threatening to you?" And that was for my white wife, and I was like, "Wow."
But that is just wrong on all fronts.
No,
anyway.
But what she saw was,
I mean, technically everything we deal with is wrong on all fronts anyway.
But what she saw was now it's getting out of hand. Now she's like, it was always out of hand, but now it's like she can feel that she empathizes. You know?
Yeah, when you have kids and you see stuff like the school shootings, like I said, I've always felt bad for the parents and the people involved in school shootings.
Absolutely.
But once you had a kid and you just sit back and you're just like, I can never imagine what it's like to like possibly be on the phone with my kid and they might pass without me seeing them, or just to have that feeling of helplessness.
Yes.
It's just one of those things like once you're put in a certain situation and you can relate more, it amplifies everything.
I understand that. I understand what both of y'all are saying. What I'm saying is those examples, those are very generalized like feelings. Even though I'm like between both of you all have children. I don't have any children, but I have little brothers. I have a niece. Like I can still get to you on that level. So if something was to happen to my brother, he's in school. Hey man, like in other words, my love for my brother. It's that unconditional love that y'all would have for your children. Like it's the same thing. So if something was to happen, that would touch me. That whole thing with Trayvon Martin and his age and how it touched your wife, like that generalized idea. If that was to happen to any child, white, black, Puerto Rican, like just that happening to a child, like that idea it's going to touch you.
I don't think happening to a white kid would have the same effect. I said I don't think if it happened to a white kid, it would not have the same effect. But having for her to wake up and see her young black son sitting there and thinking that he might go out the next day, he might turn 16, and somebody go, "You're a threat." And granted, my son is beige. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm saying, but I see that in white kids now. Like these kids are threats.
I mean, that's because we're black.
No. Just in the age of school shootings, period.
Well, yeah.
I mean, school shootings, mass shootings, pretty much done by white people in America.
That's what I'm saying. But then I was like, these kids are
But we're always the threats.
But what I'm saying is just idea-wise, that idea, like not even putting a color to it, that idea, you can have empathy, sympathy, all that other good stuff for that situation. That can touch any person.
I mean, it can. All I said is it gets amplified when you're
again,
literally. It's not. Yes, I have brothers. I have cousins. I have a whole bunch of people that I have unconditional love for, and I will be sad. I will be hurt, but I know that my pain wouldn't be the same as their parents because you birthed that person, you raised that person. It's literally been your sole responsibility for their life. What? And so it's just to have that taken away, that's the type of, like, you can empathize with it, but until you're literally in those shoes, it's never going to feel the same.
I get that. What I'm saying is you don't have to be a parent to feel that. Like I said, I have a niece. If something was to happen with her, I'd be utterly destroyed. Like, me as a person would be changed forever. She doesn't have to be my child. That's my sister's child. But that's how much, that unconditional love, if something was to happen to her, I'd be crushed.
I kind of feel like, I understand what you're saying, but I still kind of feel like you're saying it from an aspect of someone who doesn't have any kids. Even with your niece, it's going to get amplified even more when you have a child. You might not think it can go beyond.
Love in that situation, that unconditional love, that the same love that you have for your children, that same type of love can be shared for somebody else. And if somebody goes through that, you would still have that same feeling, that same feeling, that same setback, as if
it's a little different because it's a little different because you don't look at your kid and you don't see yourself in that kid.
And see, that's what I'm saying. Now, what you're saying is that I understand what you're saying. You're saying that I have brothers, I have nieces and nephews, and if something happens to them, I'd be devastated. But my soul, my child, which you can't speak from because you've never birthed anything. when you were there from conception to them taking the first step, to them calling you dad, to them realizing you're the only person that's going to help them, guide them along the future.
When they're being a little jackass and all you can say is, God damn, that's my kid.
Exactly. It's not, you can't describe that type of love. There's no description.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because the same interaction that you all have with your children, right? The same love, that unconditional love, watching them grow up, knowing that what you're teaching them,
it's not unconditional. We're not talking about.
They're applying it, and you can see it, and the feelings you get, and it makes you proud, and things like that. That same energy of everything that you all are doing with your child, I am doing and can do with my niece. So I can feel the same way that you all feel about your children with my niece, and have the same impact on me if something was to happen to her as the same as something was to happen to me.
I give a perfect example of this one. I have 4 kids, 2 of them my stepchildren. My son and my older daughter, my stepchildren. I fell in love with them, right? Head over heels in love with my children, where they're now my children. And I thought to myself, how in the world could I love anybody else more than these 2 little people, right? Just like you feel about your niece. But when I had my daughter, who is now 5, that is a completely different type of love. And I asked my wife that in the beginning. I said, how am I going to love Maddie the same way I love Isaiah? She said, watch. Watch till it happens. You're going to understand what I'm talking about. Because everybody says, if you have one kid, how do you love all your kids equally? Watch. Your heart grows and it changes. So having a kid...
So do you love all your kids equally? Both the step and...
Differently.
You love them differently?
Equally, but differently. Because everybody's personality is different. Everybody's experience they're going to give you is different. Do I love them? Will I die for every single one of them? Twice over, 10 times over. But having a child, when you're there, that's okay.
I mean, because you can't love anyone the exact same way anyway.
No.
That's the whole reason. Like, if that was the case, you would treat everyone that you say you have the same level of love with, you would treat them exactly the same because you had that exact same love.
Like when you had...
That's not true. You treat everybody according to who they are, to their personality.
But you're not going to love them the same. You're not going to love everybody
like you can look at one brother and say, I love him because he's XYZ, and you know that the other one might be slacking on those qualities, but you can say, but I still love him just as much because of XYZ. Yeah. I can, like, my brothers are two totally different people. I love them both to death, but I do love them for different reasons. I do love, like, one of them I can kick back with and just play games all day, and we can chat about stuff. The other one, we could just go for a ride, not say something, and it's just like we've connected on a level that I didn't think me and him connect on very often.
You love them because of their, in other words, their personalities, who they are and their personalities, you all's history, you all's experiences, conversations, everything bundled up in one. That's like your source of love for that person. This is the reason why I love this person. This is what I would do for this person because of what me and this person's been through, because what I've seen out of this person, because what this person has done for me. That connection that you all have, that's love. The same connection that you're able to have with your stepchildren and you have one child that's yours, or you got
two. You
got two. Okay. That everything from you learning about your stepchildren, your experiences, your conversations, because you're teaching them, because you're dad. So what you're teaching your children, and you're watching them grow up in what it is that you're teaching. Because even still, if you got to them at a young enough age, they're still going to come up with your mannerisms because you're there. You're dad. That's what they see. But they might have traits of their biological parents, but your influence of being there every single day, you're going to see yourself in them still.
I see what you're saying in the literal aspect. What I'm saying in the metaphysical aspect of the feeling you have.
It's just different.
When you're like, you have a child too. Mm-hmm. How old's your child?
1.
That feeling when your child is born, brought into the, you can't describe the feeling that comes over top of you. Like, I was weeping when my daughter was born, literally crying out of nowhere, uncontrollably, just like. I didn't know what was going on with my body, with my mind. I was just like weeping, crying in the living room, like somebody like stole my snacks. that feeling, that feeling.
It took me a while to like. I was like, "What's he laughing?" Oh, did he just say like snacks?
Snacks.
that feeling of just like pure joy, that pure the purest form of love is from parent to child. Purest form, because there's no misconception, there's no nothing behind it, there's no like agenda. Wow. Like I looked at my daughter when she was first born, all I could say was wow. That's amazing. That happened. And when you have a child,
it's always going to be one of those things where it's going to be hard to explain if you're not.
Yeah, it is.
That's just the way. I can't take anyone else's feelings away from them.
Yeah, I would concede
I can
that.
just say that for me, it does feel different. A lot of things feel different.
Yeah, I would concede to that.
I mean, look, you all probably going to say it, and whoever's listening is probably going to say it, like, yeah, Sirius isn't going to understand it until he has a child of his own. All right, so, I mean, that's pending whenever, that crap happens. But
ladies, you hear that, right?
Whenever you accidentally
He's
shoot
waiting.
the club.
He's waiting.
What I'm saying is, me and you've had conversations about love and about logic.
Blankman, that is.
And, me and Blankman's had this conversation. And we already have, like, a certain understanding about each other. Like, the way you feel about love isn't the way that I think about love. Like, at all.
Absolutely.
We're almost on two separate pages.
Yes, I'm on Pluto and you're on the sun.
I'm on something way closer to Earth. That's all I know. I'm way closer to the ground than what you all described.
That's another show altogether.
What love is. But anyway, and that's kind of where the stalemate is, because you all, at the end of the day, you all say, hey, look, you're not going to get it because you have a child, and I'm just going to think that you all are wrong. That's just.
And you know what? And you have every right to that opinion because you have nothing to base it off of. But both of us have had it both ways. So therefore, we're gonna be like, oh, like this, you're gonna be like that. But you have no data to go off of what you already know, which is fine. But when you do get that data, when you do have that first child, you're gonna be like, oh,
you say that.
That's what they meant.
You say that, and
listen,
then you on that day you'll ask me, and I'm like, nah, man. It's a baby.
We all right, man. We all right. It's a baby.
I had sex.
Like Dave Chappelle said, we don't fuck different, man.
I wouldn't ask you first. I wouldn't ask you first day. I'd probably ask you like after the first year. Excuse me. After the getting up during the middle of the nights for the feedings, after this, after that, after a while.
Y'all can replay this episode, and I said, no, yeah, I still feel the same.
It's.
I'm not even. I still think the same. I'm not gonna say.
I will say this. In there's this show with Jennifer Lopez, a movie with Jennifer Lopez, and I forgot the name of it.
Describe what happened. I might know it.
It's really good.
She's a.
Is it Made in Manhattan?
Not Made in Manhattan. Where she's actually in the show, in the movie, she's got knocked up, right, by a guy she didn't really know.
The Backup Plan.
The Backup Plan. Yeah.
Never seen it. I just want to point that out.
He's good.
He's really good. With in the movie Anthony Anderson, Blackish star.
Anthony Anderson was in a movie with Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're in a park having a conversation, and the guy's like, "Yo, what is fatherhood like?" And I love this quote because I never understood it till I had kids. He's like, "You know what, man? It's the greatest thing that's ever gonna happen to you. Then you're tired. You're tired. You're tired. You're tired. Then it's the greatest thing that's ever gonna happen to you. Then you're more tired. Then you're more tired. Then you're aggravated. Then you're. It's a up and down of great moments." Mm-hmm. And then in the middle of his speech, his kid walked up to him with a handful of poop. And he says, "Son, whose poop is this?" "I don't know." And he looks at the guy and said, "He doesn't know who shit this is." He said, "It's not one of the moments, son." "No, it's not one of the moments." He's like, "Come on, son, so I can wash your hands." That
I think I remember that in the trailer.
Yeah, that is, to me, every time I see it, that's fatherhood. Because it's every day, it's like, oh my God, I'm tired. Oh, I'm tired. But then they'll say, "Dad, Dad." You're like, oh, that's great. Then you didn't do something else. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I,
amazing.
like kid will run around. I was like, stop it, stop moving, leave me alone. Then all of a sudden, he'll just lay down. It's like, oh man, that's so cool. Yeah. Man,
I don't know. Like I said, to each his own. I don't even know if the right phrase. I just think you all are wrong. But I mean, I just
like I
want that
said,
stance to be known.
because I've been on both sides of the fence. I'm going to say, like I said, your opinion is not wrong because it's going to be your opinion, and there's no actual fact that can prove we're right.
You all just wait.
So we're just
wait.
so we're just over here like wait till he has a kid, and then he's just like,
prove a
God.
point. That's what I'm going to do.
Yes, we will find your baby. Like, he's only getting you. Like, you're only pregnant just to prove a point, right? It's like you're pregnant out of spite for us.
I'll tell her. It won't be out of spite. Hey, look, I'm only knocking you up because I need to prove a point. I'm gonna take care of the baby and everything. Don't get me wrong.
Might as well name that child. Might as well name that child Blankman Phenom Lee. That would be a dope name.
He's gonna come to me when he start getting older. He's like, Daddy, was I conceived out of love? No. You were conceived to prove a point, son. Now go play.
Now go stop making me feel for you.
Go live life knowing that you proved your old man right.
It's like, do whatever you do. Just don't make me fall deeper in love with you than anything else in the world. It's like,
Get out of here, kid. You're too cute.
don't make me be able to relate to that J. Cole song. What? I can't remember what that jam was called. He's like, I feel alive for the very first time.
If that happens and I'm wrong, I'll play that song, and that's how y'all know that y'all won. I'll be in an emergency
So
room.
Blankman stepped away. So I told Sirius, I said he's going to get somebody pregnant just to prove a point. I was like, and when
Why
he's
do I
wrong,
see that really happening?
Just
look,
to prove a point.
I was like, when he's proven wrong, the baby's going to be named Blankman Phenom Lee.
That's right.
Why do I feel that he would actually do that?
I will.
Some people,
I'm
just to
serious.
win an argument, he's that argumentative. He would do that.
I'm serious.
I'm pretty
Ladies,
like that
please
too.
Watch your ovaries. That's all I'm saying.
I'm serious.
Oh man, this was such a dope episode, man.
It was pretty good.
The conversations that
Never finished the top 5, but
But I think the top 5 spin into a lot of stuff, and I think that with the conversations we have as black men, as adult men, as nerds, which I fully declare I'm a nerd, I don't even care.
Well, side note real quick. Disney's turning everybody into nerds. Anybody who started watching the Marvel movies 10 years ago and who's just got finished watching Infinity War, but they've never picked up a comic book in their life.
I do know people picking up comic books now because
Yeah,
they want to know some more
turning-
stories.
Exactly.
Let me expand on the term nerd, because I think of let me expand on the term black nerd.
Okay.
When growing up in, let's say I lived in Waldorf most of my life. I was a black kid in school. I was the black kid. That's how much older I am. Right? Like, I'm not that old, but I'm older than you guys.
I was the majority.
Yeah, I was the minority. It was me. I was the black kid. That's me. To be into comic books, into movies where we are, into
Like anime.
anime. We haven't got to anime. We can talk all that all day. Into video games and things of that nature. You're considered a nerd. I mean, I know when Boyz II Men came out, I was wearing a shirt and tie to school. You know?
God dang.
Yeah, go there. Yeah, that's black nerd. So I think I'm loving the fact that in 2018, black nerd is not a bad thing. It's not a bad word.
It's accepted.
It's accepted. It's trending. It's where it should be.
Yeah.
Because
I ain't gotta hide no more.
exactly, I ain't gotta be in a, quote unquote. I ain't gotta be in a closet of my.
Can we change that term? Can we?
No, I'm not. No, I'm fine with it. I'm
Okay.
fine with it. Because you know what?
I just want to point out I was never trapped in.
At one,
I was never in the closet. I just want to point that out.
Okay, first of all, in the closet, the sense of that, if you're trying to be down and cool and being the only black kid in certain areas, people expect you to be a thug.
Yeah, let's clean it up. No, you're good.
Okay, I'm cleaning it up for you, so you don't get your little pants in a bunch. They expect you to be a thug, and I'll tell you about it. I am far from a thug. There's no thug bone in my body. I'm a suburb dude.
Straight, like people be like, I'm not from DC, dog. I'm from the suburbs of PG.
And I will claim
That's
it all
where
day.
I'm born
I am
and
from the
raised.
suburbs.
I mean, now if I gotta get into a little fisticuffs, you know,
We all.
beat my ass.
I don't know about these two, but I'm from the streets, son. I don't know what to say.
I don't really. Okay.
The streets
I am
PG.
clearly not from the streets. I've had past girlfriends actually tell me that like their parents love me because I feel safe like a white guy.
Wow.
And I will say I've actually had that conversation also. I've heard you're not like the rest.
Yep.
I've
had a teacher tell me, he's like, the way he does stuff is so great because he comes in here and he blends in so well with y'all. But if he has to stand up and speak, he speaks so eloquently, so clear.
I swear, at the age that I am right now, I wish a white person said he speaks so well. How else am I supposed to speak?
Okay, but
No, I'm sorry. Nowadays, especially some of these younger kids, man, they all sound like they got like spit lodged in their throat. They be like,
He speaks so well.
Like,
he
but
articulates
I've literally had.
But that's code for you sound white.
I've literally had to translate what my younger brother has said to my father sometimes. You have to really listen.
It's a whole new language.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I understand why they do it because everybody has slang and I understand, but I know how I sound on the phone. I know I'm gonna come off on a podcast. I know I'm gonna sound. I don't care because you know
My
what?
voice sounds a lot
They gonna be like,
lighter
hey,
than I
remember
thought it
that
was.
white guy you had on the show?
Absolutely, and I'll be like, you know what?
didn't have a
By all means,
After starting this podcast, I realized I have like no bass in my voice at all.
and I will always have a job. I will always go on a job interview and I will get that job.
Yep, I sure know how to do that, man.
Because my job interview voice is on point.
I'm telling you, before I got here, I was at a red light. And I was playing Raheem Devine's "Believe in Me," and I had my windows down.
Good song.
That's a great song. I had my windows down, and I was just like, bobbing my head, and I was like, I was jamming. And when you got your windows down, everybody can hear what you're listening to. So I looked to my left, and there was a guy in like this old Cadillac, this white guy, and he just. There's nothing, this is nothing. Okay, so I looked to my right, and there was like this chubby white chick, and then like she was looking at me, and I was like, I smiled.
There you go.
And then I saw her pick up the phone and gave me this look. I went past the red light. I said, "Oh, she about to call cops."
By the way,
I'm surprised cops haven't been called on me then. Cause
that meme is like the funniest one going on right now. I'm sorry, that's just hilarious.
Virginia probably should have called the cops on me hundreds of times because while I may not be hood, I am the type of black person to where like if I'm in traffic around a whole bunch of white people, I start playing Straight Outta Compton.
Oh man,
I'll be up in that joint.
I think we went to like
had an 8-ball rolling,
anime convention, something like that, and we're driving through what was it, Baltimore?
Yeah, Bmore.
We're going through Bmore. And there's like a lot of cops everywhere. And he turns on "Fuck the police."
Yep.
And I'm like,
coming straight from the underground.
Put my seat back a little bit. Like, I don't want this problem.
I don't want smoke, but
That's a lot of energy
people to
thrown
know
out there.
that.
That's a lot of energy thrown out there. I understand. I mean,
I looked at him.
I got you, but it's a lot of energy. I don't know if I had the balls to do that. I'm sorry, I ain't gonna lie to you.
This is the song you want to play right now.
I don't want to get my ass.
He knows in certain situations I'll test it. Remember one time when we was leaving the carry out and the dude came in like did this sharp ass turn, almost hit me. I'm like,
Phenom scared me. He scared me that day because I don't know what kind of maneuver that somebody messed up, and I'm not going to say
we were turning out of the parking lot. I was doing a wide turn to leave the parking lot. This Cadillac was coming in, and he was doing a wide turn to come into the parking lot, and he just got all up in the space.
So basically, you were testing your blackness.
I mean, basically, like he was testing my space. It's like, dog, your car's big, but I've driven Navigators and I've been able to cut sharp corners. Like, learn how to drive.
Was he a white guy?
No, I was a black dude.
No, hold on, look, that's not the end of it though. Phenom honked his horn, and they was
Back
kind
to
of
my
like
horn.
throwing hand signs at each other. And the guy gets out his car and goes to his trunk immediately. And Phenom's like, I don't give a fuck. What are you trying to do? So if you don't keep this car going, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
But keeping it real goes wrong. That's what I'm thinking about this.
He's gonna keep driving. He's going to the trunk because obviously he's
So
like,
in
I
the-
don't
when
know
it
what
keeps
you
it
got.
going,
You're
it's horribly wrong.
I feel
So
you
in the
got
back of
something
my
to do.
head, I'm over here like, I might have to tell them to put their heads down because I'm gonna put this car in reverse real quick. Because he was still like directly, because he had just passed me.
Y'all need a movie?
So I could put the car in reverse and drive straight into his trunk. I'm like, that's what you want to do?
This man had a plan.
I had a plan.
But he didn't let me in on it at all. I'm like, I'm scared. I'm like, man, if y'all
Got
keep
serious
this car
butthole
going,
all
man.
tightened up. What's going on with y'all?
Because man, I felt like because it was one of those things where I didn't want it to happen, but if it was going to happen, it had to happen. And I felt like if I had told you anything, then it was going to happen.
First of all, that's to quote the Boondocks. That was a nigga moment. It was.
I felt like I was trapped in
That's
that
what
moment.
that was. That was a nigga moment.
Nobody
definitely a nigga
told me
moment,
nothing.
dog.
All this was about to go down, and no one told me. And I'm
Because you know how you don't want to say something out loud because it's like, well, now it's got to happen because I done put that, now I done put it out in the air. I done put it to the earth, so it's going to happen
For
now.
all our non-melatonin challenge listeners, a nigga moment is when shit like this happens. You got to test it out, see what happens. You do some ignorant shit for no reason at all.
For the non-melanin people, it's just kind of like when bros try to test the testosterone, only, you know, when it's all said and done, they'll joke and laugh at the end. For us, nah, somebody might end up on the pavement.
I stay away from nigga moments.
Yeah, I've gotten better at that, but there have been times when my anger got the best of me, man. I'm like, man, I'm pushing my little Malibus, like, don't hit my car. That was back when my horn actually worked.
that was one of the scariest moments of my life. Because I didn't know. If maybe if he'd have put me in it on the plan,
Let me in. Send a smoke signal.
Like I said, I couldn't put that energy into the universe. I just couldn't, man. I just couldn't.
He was like, oh, okay. I will test that too. Like when Dave Chappelle, Wayne Brady in the episode of he's like, hey man, Dave, he ain't gonna snitch on you. He ain't gonna snitch on you, Jay.
I'm like, because at this point, all he did was pop the trunk.
Black actors, man.
Yeah, stick together.
Black actors.
I'm like, at this point, all he did was pop the trunk. I was like, now if he actually like kind of dipped his body in there real quick in reverse.
First of all, that's code in every black community.
Everywhere.
I'm gonna pop the trunk on your ass. That means you coming out with some heat.
When you say a white man can't jump, y'all niggas wait right here. I'm gonna go in my trunk and get my gun. I'm gonna come back and shoot all y'all.
What?
I was ready.
What did I do?
That trunk was popped. My hand is always on the gear shift. I'm like, if this dude even walks toward that trunk, he's going to be pinned between my car and his car.
The funny thing is, like when Phenom pulled out, like we had to stop because we had to wait for traffic for him to make the turn. So he was there for a little bit, and the guy was like, he got out of the car like, "Yo, what's up?" And he was walking towards the trunk.
Yeah, he wasn't at the trunk at first.
Oh, so y'all at the light?
We was at the stop sign trying to leave the.
Man, it would have been no stops. Have been gone.
Had my hand on the gear shift. I was ready to pump that drain in reverse if I had to.
Man, I don't think it's boys in the hood. Breaking. Nah, man. No.
I'm quick. He would have been pinned between my car and his car.
See, and then we'd have killed the dude, and I wasn't in on that plan.
Hey, it would have been
We'd have killed the whole dude, and I'd have just.
That's how you know. But see, if I had told you the plan and you had said that there was a plan, that's premeditated murder.
That's true.
This way, it was just self-defense.
That's a long logic, but I got you. I see where you're going with that. It took a long time to get there, but I got you. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
That's what I do. It might not seem like it, but there are times when I have like 2-3 plans in any situation I'm in, and I'm not going to tell you. But if I have to execute the plan, I'm going to execute the plan.
Remind me if you gonna beep a horse
I've gotten
to get out the car.
I've gotten better at that.
I just want, when you get that epiphany, I want to know.
You get that from a driving perspective. I've gotten better, and that's because for the longest time I drove a car that didn't have a working horn, so I couldn't honk my horn at people, and it got to the point now where I was just like used to it.
Side note, why does the horn feel like a missile launcher in your car? Like if I hit this horn, I'm blowing the car up. You can't do nothing with a horn but annoying people.
Because that's what you want to do.
That's true. Like you want that horn to go off and a rocket shoot out your damn light and blow that car in front of you.
Twisted metal like a motherfucker.
Yeah, what you did was so stupid. I want something bad to happen to you now.
I'm gonna lay on this horn until he said, I annoy the hell out of you. For what? It's a horn. Thank you. How you doing? I wave at you as I roll by.
Oh man,
this is a good convo.
It is. Like we
covered a lot of topics here.
Covered a lot of topics. And we hit our time mark too.
Yeah, I think that more conversations that vary between young men, especially young black men in 2018, is gonna move us forward. That's just as the old head, that's my perspective. Because I think we're too much in the email phase where we don't digest stuff. We need to digest commentary and content. And if they want to do that in movies, regardless of what people say out there in the listening world, movies will give you insight to people's soul. I'm telling you. With somebody's top 5, they'll let you know what their mind's at.
Like top 5 directors, Roman Polanski. Hey, no,
I love American History X. Whoa.
You love
American History X? What part? The black and white part or the color part? I didn't even know what you're talking
like
about.
man, that curb scene, huh?
Hold up, man.
The way it was shot, huh?
That Schindler's List was the shit. What? Nah, man. Hold up, man. Whoa, yo, relax.
You're supposed to watch these, not enjoy.
Exactly. Like, you feel anything? I felt joy.
Like this is for educational purposes only.
It's a documentary. Oh, hold up, man. Hold up. No.
Like this is just because I don't feel like watching this shit on the History Channel.
And again, one of my top five performances. Liam Neeson in Schindler's List is amazing.
That's how we end this. Liam Neeson in Schindler's List is amazing.
Are we going to end it with Liam Neeson?
No, not Liam Neeson.
Phenom, give me somebody else. Let's not.
Not Taken. We can't be Taken. What?
We can do the first Taken. The other two, I don't even want to see.
Those two don't exist.
I never even.
The first one.
Wait.
My man.
So
you gotta.
So just the one Taken, not the 30, not taking on the train, not taking on the airplane, taking on the taking on the subway,
okay, I get it.
taking on the bus.
On that one. Okay,
Taken versus Wolves.
Is he always a badass?
Outside of that series and the other movies that are just like that series of movies, the movie that I did enjoy was Run All Night.
Yeah, Run All Night was
I
good.
liked it.
The one with Common.
It felt different to me.
It did.
And I didn't get a Taken feel from him. But other than that, he's just doing it.
Taken as a detective.
He's on a plane, he's taken. He's on a bus, he's taken. He's on trains, he's taken. I'm like, William Neeson, I think he can take people. I think it was smash.
Man, whatever.
I just know that
his joints was hurting like I don't know what after them action scenes.
Like if somebody's taking him, call this dude.
Man, give me a good enough computer with some software. I can prove all them running scenes with somebody else, and his face was just digitally imposed on it.
It's just like for the longest, I thought that
he was great as Ra's al Ghul. Whitewashed, but still.
Like you said, whitewash. That whitewash, I had a problem.
Yeah, because
I have a problem with
whitewashing.
I would have liked a better fight. For what I know about Ra's al Ghul, I would have liked a better fight in the movie.
And again,
the head of the snake.
We're talking about Batman Begins for people who don't know.
Was it head of the snake or head of the dragon?
Head of the dragon.
Head of the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you expect a better.
Okay,
fight.
and with that, I'm going to transition to my most hated series on Netflix. We already talked about this.
What's that?
Iron Fist.
Trash.
That was horrible.
First Marvel
Find the
joint, I
director
stopped watching.
and throw him off a bridge.
I stopped after like episode 6, and I
know.
don't plan
I watched
on watching.
the whole thing because
I'm so sorry.
I wanted to watch it, but I gotta name like 10 different half white, half Asian characters gonna play that guy with better fights. His choreography was horrible.
He was trash.
Oh my god! I'm Betty Rand. Shut up. It was terrible. Oh god, it was so bad.
What did they said that that plot mimicked something else? What was it? Arrow. They said that plot mimicked Arrow.
It did mimic Arrow.
It did, but
it was.
But I mean, it's
Stephen Amell so much better. I don't believe Stephen Amell as Iron Fist than that guy who played Iron Fist.
Stephen Amell's come a long way from
he has
prostitute.
come a long way.
He's one of my favorite people on TV.
He's a male prostitute in that show that The Punisher was in. It was a show on HBO called Hung with Thomas Jane, where Thomas Jane was like he was a divorced basketball coach or something like that, and I think he lost his job or his house burnt down or something, and he needed money, and so he allowed that was the name of the show, and he allowed himself to get pimped out.
You know what? I heard about that show.
And in like the third season, Stephen Amell, aka Arrow, showed up, and he was just like, apparently he was
male
just,
prostitute to women, or
he was a male prostitute.
He was gigolo.
Yeah, gigolo.
Okay.
Like that.
All right, okay, that makes it a little better because I'm talking. What?
No, I'm sorry. He was a gigolo.
For the record, Thomas Jane is my favorite Punisher.
Nope, I can't say that. The last Punisher. Who's the guy who played Punisher last one?
The guy on Netflix?
Yeah.
Barenthal, John. Shout out to DC.
I love that. That character is so dark and
I like
twisted.
that dirty. I like the dirty laundry. After Thomas J did that dirty laundry YouTube joint, I was like, this just goes to show you how, like, in the early 2000s.
That one?
Yeah.
That was gangster.
It goes to show you how in the early 2000s they just didn't really know how to handle comic book properties.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%. Because even with like the Spider-Man.
he was a Punisher.
He was more of a psychological Punisher in his movie.
Yes, that he was.
And that's what I want.
Because
I mean,
that was
wrong.
dope. My man, what did he do?
Punisher.
He made a dude kill his best friend.
Yeah.
Made a dude kill his wife.
Yeah.
He somehow managed to murder Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Which was like, what? Really? A red and white checkered shirt and
You still didn't know
blonde
it was
hair.
Kevin Nash, though.
I knew it was Kevin.
I didn't know.
I didn't know it was
I know
Kevin
that was
I was
Diesel.
like, he was the Russian.
That was Diesel.
Like, I did not know that was Kevin Nash. I was
That
like,
was Diesel.
No, yeah, everything that he did in the movie was so cold, it was so calculated, to where he put everything in motion so that
He created
John
an
Travolta's character did all the bad stuff
he
himself.
created
to
an ejecting knife to kill the dude with the guitar.
Yeah.
He's like, you gotta be a stupid
But
son of a bitch to
again,
be a knight to a gunfight.
This new guy is just a guy with PTSD,
But-
and
but
I got a problem with how they made him.
And this day and age,
It's more relatable.
It's more relatable because
it's definitely a thing.
Because his wife and kid getting killed, the way they got killed, and the way he went through, and he was just murdering people.
Uh-huh.
He was just murking people nonstop. And
And it was even worse for him because he figured it was his fault. Like,
Yeah.
it
he
wasn't.
was a tortured
Like
soul.
it wasn't
He
like
was,
it wasn't like in the Punisher movie where he was just a good
I'm a
agent
great
doing
guy.
his job.
And they killed about
this
every
right
white
here
kid over
was
with a truck.
I'm great at
With
killing
the
people.
gangster
I
stuff.
was in some covert shit. I killed somebody. I made some enemies.
I'm not looking.
and he
to-
ran, but he ran over his wife and kid with a truck. That was bad.
I'm not looking to relate to any of these
Why?
characters.
They did the same
Luke
thing in
Cage.
the Punisher movie.
I'm not looking.
You can't relate to Luke Cage.
Listen to what I'm saying. When I watch this,
Black man with the
I'm
jail
not
came out
looking to
still.
relate to them. I'm looking to see how close they can get to the character that I'm familiar with. Everything that Thomas Jane portrayed from his movie and Dirty Laundry gave me that full, oh, this is how the Punisher can operate. He can get you psychologically and he can get you physically. What you gave me with this new Punisher is a one-note Punisher. Yes, I can kill you. Yeah, anybody can kill you. But he's not punishing them like Thomas
Did you
Jane
see
punished
this?
them.
I'm sorry because
Did you see
I'll back him up a little bit just because my man showed on the pictures to show that his man was gay, threw his wife's other earring to let him know that you killed your like he threw his wife
I'm
off
not-
a bridge in front of an oncoming train.
That was gangster.
Like and while he's
that's
and,
anger. That's,
look,
I can't
and while,
stand you.
Look, and while he's telling him what he did, his son
Blows up in the
yeah, John
background.
Travolta's son is in like trapped between some concrete with a C4 brick or something in his hand that he has to hold up that he knows he
It was a broken arm he was holding.
No,
and then he dragged him through an exploding parking lot.
don't get me wrong.
And had the skull.
The title,
and
the title. Listen,
punished them.
the
That's the
title
reason
Punisher-
why I own this movie on
Okay,
DVD.
the title
I feel it was
Punisher
greatly
was-
underrated.
It was apropos. The title he punished the shit
It was
out of
better than Dolph Lundgren.
But oh my God, yes. But with this, again, I'm a type of person. When I go to a movie, I want to feel that character, and this guy played the shit out of
said it
this
was
character.
he said it was too much emotion with Thomas Jane.
Well, for
like,
me- for me-
Eric Bana as Hulk.
Like for me, being ex-military, I felt what he was doing. I felt the PTSD. I felt that I'm like, now I'm invested. You have me invested in this character, so now I'm gonna pay attention.
But I think the way that they did that character, okay, one, I couldn't.
So I just
couldn't-
kind of find it funny because of where we are and we're debating these two different Punishers. Thomas Jane is from Baltimore and John Barenthal's from DC. Right now, me and you are defending Baltimore.
We are defending Baltimore, and I'm not mad at it because Thomas James, he's a beast. Lost my point. Had it, I lost it.
That's how you. That's how you
That's
win
Destiny
this shit.
telling us that we should probably wrap this up.
Pretty
'Cause I
much.
feel like this is a
And
good point.
You're lucky. I was about
This
to break you.
this is a great spot. This has been a great episode. Like Love Brown, you know, she's a great co-host. She is a great addition to the podcast. But it's nice every once in a while just to talk some nerd stuff.
No, I think I agree with you. I think this was definitely a good experience. I think that we actually touched on a lot of topics, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of stuff that people actually talk about. Who
You know, people pissed at me for defending The Last Jedi.
But you know what? Hey, hey man, it happens. You know, you fuck like you fuck. What up?
Look,
Whatever.
that's when you come over here like, you want a real hot take? The Super Mario Brothers movie wasn't that bad.
Well, anyway, like I was saying,
He about to extend this a whole hour.
a whole hour. But
No. It was bad. It was bad.
But I will say this: the platform you guys have right now, and I appreciate being a part of it because I've been asking Sirius for weeks. Let me get on, man. Because
I mean, I hate to say it, but I would love to have you back more frequently.
because this is, I mean, if we can, Brilliant Idiots and other podcasts, they have something. They got it. We watch them. We're fans.
Yep.
But
Shout out to Joe Budden.
yeah, shout out to I'm not a big fan of Joe Budden's podcast.
As a Virgo, I just love the way how Joe can like fly off the handle and then like 30 seconds later he's just calmed down and everyone else around us was like, you was the one who was mad at everybody. No, I wasn't.
I think this
That's me to a T.
I think this can grow into something real, into something that people are gonna actually want to pay attention to because we're all. I mean, I'm gonna say we're all funny, we're all witty, we're all nerds. Now I'm a tattoo that on my forehead. We're all nerds because only nerds can have conversations about Lincoln, then go straight to superheroes,
Agreed.
then go to Star Wars, then go back to Liam Neeson.
A lot of people wouldn't be able to hang with us, man.
No. I will say it. They won't. They couldn't
A lot
because
of
they're
people would
like,
have stopped at Lincoln.
they're like, I'm
We're
done.
talking about history.
Oh, I was like, but they got tie and everything.
Like, I'm from PG. We don't know history.
Forest Hills Mall, baby. Whatever. Iverson Mall, son. Foot Locker, big cookies.
Right down the name of the road.
That's right. No, but I think this is a great experience. Wonderful. I mean, I'm on 2 hours of sleep and I'm not even tired. That's how great that is. It's just absolutely wonderful. And you guys, thank you for having me on here. It's absolutely wonderful.
Hey, appreciate you coming out, man. Appreciate you.
Man, yeah, big shout out to Blankman. Like, we are going to do our damnedest. I want to turn this into a spinoff. Like, this right here is going to be this right here is officially episode 4 of episode 3.
This is 3.
Yeah, episode 3 of KBK Present. I'm calling it KBK Present Attack of the Nerds or Attack of the Blerds.
Hey, man, go for it.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
But I honestly do feel like Attack of the Blerds could actually be its own separate entity. And if you guys are down with it, I think we should try to make this a thing. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a weekly thing. It can be,
It can be weekly. It doesn't matter. I mean, we could do is I think the content of the three of us and experiences, and the fact that one of us has no children.
You are wrong.
I already told you, Blankman Phenom Lee. He's coming, ladies and gentlemen.
I think that this. I think I would want to listen to this.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A new faction has just been formed.
Ready to take over the WWE.
Pretty much.
ECW for life, baby.
Where the Wolfpack song at? I need the Wolfpack song.
Okay, we're going a little far down the nerd hole right now because people are like, what are y'all talking about?
Man.
We'll get back to y'all.
Bump anyone who don't know the red and black.
Yeah, I mean, to wrap it up, man, Blankman, appreciate you coming through. It's been a lot of fun, and like Phenom said, yeah, we can definitely spin this off and into something special. You know what I mean? So I enjoyed myself. What about you, Phenom? You had a good take?
I had a hell of a good time, dog. This is, I don't know. I just felt like this was probably one of the first times where I could really shoot the shit.
He feels the bromance right now.
I do.
Again,
I feel like I found my Turk.
We keep saying we're wrapping up, but again, when you have when you have people that have like-minded and opposite views that can complement one another, this is what's going to happen. Great content, great conversation, and you're going to walk away with it. I would listen to this. I'm going to listen to this podcast myself. Not because I want to point out my flaws and know what I sound like. I know what I sound like.
Oh, yeah, you're totally going to listen to him like, yeah. Sirius was right. I was totally right.
Oh yeah,
that's not gonna happen.
Oh yeah, when I'm done, this is definitely going up as soon as possible.
But that's not gonna happen because we talk on a regular basis, and
I'm always winning. All right, I don't want to get into it.
All right. So
he doesn't win.
I'm always winning. Is
all
what
right.
I'm saying.
Before these two get into an argument, I'm gonna lead you out. Once again, this has been Phenom here with Blankman and Sirius Lee. We like to thank y'all for listening to this week's episode of KBK Presents Attack of the Blerds, and be on the lookout for the next, I guess, solo episode of Attack of the Blerds.
Take it easy.
Peace.